two. A 1, 2, 3. And hello and welcome back to an exciting episode. I usually say another exciting. Yeah, this is another.
Another, yeah.
Yeah. Another exciting episode of Lives, Thrives and Mental Health Dives. We are back
Hello, guys.
with the king of sarcasm and toxic masculinity. He is here.
I'm here.
The man who's lived 1,000 lives, and we're here to give you his updates, and we're also here to answer your burning questions from a man's perspective.
Yeah, something a little bit different. Also, you know, I know none of you wanted me here, but I'm back.
That's not true. That's
like
not
a really
true.
persistent cold sore. I'm just hanging around.
That is not true. What Jack is referring to, let's just get it out of the way. Let's address the elephant in the room.
Go on then.
So the reason that Jack has returned is, yes, we do love him, but he isn't back by popular demand, if that's what you're thinking. But he is actually graciously paying for this episode. Want to know how? Because Jack has won the lottery. No, it's not a fucking joke. And I thought it was a joke, and it took you 10 minutes to convince me that it wasn't.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. Tess obviously said, you know,
we were in Krakow.
Yeah.
Sorry, tell the context.
So we don't need to go into like how much I'm not richer than Donald Trump or anything crazy, but
You've won a sizable amount of money.
A decent amount of money, right? And basically, I found out, and I was going to Krakow, and I won it with a friend. Technically, we're a syndicate. We had to split the money, and I found out, and I then had to go to Krakow. My mate, he said, "Look, let's not tell anyone until we got the money," because I did genuinely believe it was a stitch up. I thought all the lads had like paid £100 for like this app that then has an actor that phones you up.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I went to Krakow, and I just kept asking all weekend to everyone in Krakow. I was like, "So what would you do if you won the lottery?" And people were like, "Jack, shut the fuck up."
No, I was like, I'd pay off my parents' morttage. Have you done that? No, you haven't.
No,
you
they're
little
mortgage free.
slag.
They're mortgage free.
Oh, right. Yeah. So just from my perspective, I was in Krakow with you, and then got home. It probably been like a week or so. Jack rang me one morning. He went, "You on your own?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm just in my car." And he went, "I've been keeping something from you, Tess."
And instantly she went, "Your missus is pregnant, isn't she?"
Yeah, that's the first thing you'd assume. So I was like, "Is Charlotte pregnant?" And he went, "No." And now it's going to sound shit what I've got to say. And I was like, "No, go on." And he went, "I've won the fucking lottery, Tess." And I was like, "No, you haven't." I was just like, "You're so annoying." And he was like, "Tess." Anyway, phone pings, Jack in the lottery winner's lounge, holding a giant check. And I was like, "Fuck off." And he was like, "Tess, seriously." And I still thought you were winding me up. I thought you'd paid for elaborate actors.
Yeah, I still, when we went to the HQ, and I was like, "Oh, Ant and Dec are going to jump out from behind the sofa." Or, you know, the lads were in on it, and they'd be like, "Now tell him he's lost everything." Tell him all his family have been kidnapped. Something just wild, like, oh!
So my natural first response was, "Great, so you can sponsor an episode of the podcast."
and
here you
I
are. But but on a very kind note, I actually think that no one deserves that more than you.
Do you know what? I couldn't agree more. I know, survived a skydiving accident. That was pretty dicey. Raised all that money for charity.
Because last time you came on here, that hadn't happened.
Yeah.
And that was life-changing.
Yeah, so long story short, because I've spun it a few times, jumped out the plane, free fall bit went fine. As I pulled my parachute, wrapped around my leg, and basically ripped my knee apart. And
your knee was on backwards, wasn't it?
Yeah, done an Uno flip reverse. So everything was pointed in the opposite direction. And I was just like, oh my God. And then I was just like, I don't want to die. Frantically pulling at the lines, leg flopped out, and parachute opened.
And then you've had major surgery.
Yeah, I had surgery, been on that rehab hype. And actually, to anyone that I've ever said, right, running is easy, just get out and do it.
Wonder who you said that to 10 million times.
I want to take this opportunity to apologise to absolutely fucking nobody. Because even if with a bad knee, it's easy. You just need to get out and get after it.
Damn, I fell into that trap. But sorry, just from a perspective of a woman's perspective from Jack's accident, because this is classic women versus men, right? So I was actually at a Post Malone concert the day of the accident, and Posty had just come on, so it was absolutely really loud in the room. My phone rang, and I looked down, and it was Jack's mum ringing me, who I do have a good relationship with, but it's not like she would ring me all the time.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like,
that's random.
Something's wrong, because I was like, so I looked at Liv, and I was like, I'm going to have to step out. Jack's mum's ringing me. And she was like, right, okay. So I kind of like ran out, and I picked up the phone. Jack's mum was like, hi. And I was like, hi. And she was like, right, don't panic. Okay. He's not died. And I was like, what?
Instantly, I'm now panicking. The fact you said don't panic.
Yeah.
It's like people, when I need to speak to you, I'm like, well, who's died then?
Yeah.
Or the house must be burnt down.
So I was like, okay. And she was like, Jack's had a parachute accident. And
It's
I
a
was
bit more suspense.
my instant thought, as awful as it sounds, I was thinking, oh my fucking God, he's paralysed. And I just kept thinking, rip it off like a band-aid. I was literally just like, just tell me, like, is he, like, I thought you'd broken your neck. I thought you were going to be, and she was like, basically, like, his parachute didn't open. His leg was nearly ripped off with the force. And I was like, oh my fucking God. And she was like, but he's all right. And I thought, we could have opened with that.
Could open with he's fine.
We could have opened with, now listen, Jack's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, but of course, females.
Yeah.
Classic. But yeah, so you've been on this enormous journey.
Yeah, rehabbing.
And you're almost back to normal.
Yeah, it's got a few months to go. I mean, it's a long, slow process.
And this shows the mental strength.
You've got to have that mental fortitude because, like I said, something that used to come quite naturally to me, running, is now quite difficult, but there is only one way you're going to get better at something like that, and you just got to keep plugging away. So yeah, but enough about that.
But yes, so this is why Jack is now officially known as the man who's lived 1,000 lives. He's rode the ocean, he's survived a parachute accident, and he's won the fucking lottery. Thanks, we can end it there.
Yeah,
we can end the episode there.
But no, we've come up with it, and me and Tess thought it'd be a good idea to answer a few of your questions.
Well, yeah, because last time you were on, we did like the whole men are from Mars, women are from Venus.
Yeah.
And the kind of response that it got was like women wanting to know more about your perspective on things.
Yeah.
I don't know why, because I hear it often.
But I love hearing how differently women approach problems, and you see all the TikToks and they crack me up like that. When you give your girlfriend a logical solution to a problem she wanted to get emotionally charged about.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're going to go through these questions.
We're going to go through these questions and we're going to give you our honest
Some
answers.
We're not going to answer, right, guys? I mean, some of you have serious fucking issues, no offence, and you need to see a therapist, right? Some of the questions...
We've had a lot of questions as well.
We appreciate them, but go and see someone. A professional, because we're not professionals.
We're not professionals.
Yeah.
We're also not going to say anyone's name.
Anonymous.
Unless people want us to. Right, okay. Starting off strong, and I feel like this one's going to really relate to you in a big way. Shout out, Charlotte. I've been dating a guy for 5 months, and it's going great.
Yeah.
Why won't he make me his girlfriend? So how long were you dating Charlotte before you made it official?
So this is the thing.
I order?
No, it's all about context.
Is it?
Yeah. So me and Charlotte obviously, seeing each other for quite a while. But when we started seeing each other, she was always going travelling the following summer. So we were just like, look, let's keep it cash.
When you say keep it cash, sorry to butt in, were you both sleeping with other people, seeing other people, or were you like just keeping it cash between the two of you?
I prefer not to speak. If I speak, I get in trouble.
I don't tell any answers without my lawyer present.
No,
right.
you just don't have that conversation. Then when things start to get a bit more serious between us, we sort of went. I remember we went to the pub, Flintgate, and we just sort of said, "Look, what we doing?" At the time, I was leaving the army. It was before my accident.
Classic politician. Avoid the actual question.
Yeah,
How many months was it?
No, a few months. 6 months.
How many?
A few, quite a few.
12.
No, it wasn't 12.
It was 11.
Daft. Don't be daft. But she was going travelling. Do you know what I mean? I said, look, and I was like, you don't need a boyfriend when you're travelling. And then when she come back, we met up in India and then asked her to be my girlfriend. But going back to your girl's problem here, right? So you need that context. Is there something coming up? All these sort of things.
Yes, but then I also think, do you need context? Because it goes to the classic, if he wanted to, he would.
Yeah,
if you've been dating
agreed.
someone for fucking 5 months and it's going really, really well, maybe you need to ask yourself, is it going as well for them? Because to me, I would know after 5 months if I wanted to be with them or not. Oh, yeah, 100%.
You need to spell it out for boys. Or actually, no, not just boys, anyone. Because if people can walk all over you, they can.
Yeah.
So unless a boy has 100% said to you, we're official,
and
we're not sleeping with anyone else, don't assume he
isn't.
He isn't.
Yeah. Coming from a man. So unless you've had that conversation, and unfortunately probably not going to want to hear this, but if you're not happy with the current way things are, you need to give them an ultimatum and say, look, we're either being boyfriend, girlfriend, or
it's nothing.
Because probably the reason that he maybe hasn't committed as well is because you're making it okay that he has
his cake and eat it.
Yeah, has the girlfriend package on the seeing each other wage type thing.
Yeah, so he's like, why change it? I've got a great thing going on here.
I've got a great girl. He's probably completely loyal to him because let's be honest, women. And I actually agree with that you should kind of not push them into a corner, but sometimes men are like dogs. You have to train them. And you have to kind of, Jackie, I don't know why you're rolling your eyes.
Men are like dogs.
They are.
Right.
You have to treat them with a firm hand. And I don't mean literally, I mean mentally. But yeah, so why might it be that a guy wouldn't commit after?
Maybe he's just not that interested. Sorry.
Ouch. We came here for the truth.
Yeah, maybe he's not, and he is just happy to have his cake and eat it, and maybe he's just, it's not that deep for him.
So she needs to give him an ultimatum.
Yeah, I would say so. Otherwise, you're just going to spend this time in limbo. You're never going to get anywhere.
And also, if he says...
You're going to be a dog chasing its own tail.
Yeah, and if he does say actually, I don't want to commit, I would say that's the time to be like, that's fine, and then actually fucking pull away.
Yeah.
Because that's when, not saying that they will every time, but if he was going to change his mind,
and then
he would.
Don't, go around people's houses at 4 a.m. when they've texted you, come mine. You walk in and they stink a kebab, fags and beer. You got to cut the cord.
I used to be that girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
used to be that guy.
I've sent a few of those texts.
You're still that guy.
No.
Jackie, that was a joke. Come on. Right, okay. So there you go. Right, okay. So question 2. Do men think about other women when having sex if they're in a relationship?
No comment. Next question.
This is the worst person ever to do this with, by the way. Because these are the conversations we actually have on FaceTime most weeks. Yeah. And every answer he gives me, I'm like, God, you're a pig. Right. Do men think about other women when they have sex?
Do women think about...
No, do men think about other women when they're having sex?
Me? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Never.
Maybe
once.
When you're in a relationship, you don't. But maybe if you were just with some random bit of fluff.
No,
you focused on the girl. Yeah. Right, okay, let's move on. Right. Oh, this is quite a tricky one, actually. So, how does one enter the dating world after being emotionally or physically abused and hates men? That's pretty deep, isn't it? How do you re-enter the dating world? As in, how do you learn to trust again?
How would you learn to trust again?
I wouldn't even say that's a question targeted at men. I'd say that's in general. Maybe you aren't ready to date if you have that kind of hatred for
the opposite sex.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm probably underqualified, I'd say, to answer that. I think you probably have to go and do
some self-work.
Some self-work.
Have you ever been in a situation where you felt like you hate all women?
No, never.
No.
So that's quite an alien thing to me.
See, I have hated men for a while.
I don't think you have, because you wouldn't have hated your dad or things like that.
Yeah, or you.
Or me.
The light of my life.
All right. But that's probably some self-reflection.
Yeah, I think that
maybe
that is a really tricky one. I would definitely say if you don't feel ready for dating, you're probably not. And until you've got rid of that all men are the same mentality, it's probably not the best idea, because you then might project that trauma onto somebody else.
Yeah.
And that's not nice for them, because men are actually sensitive octopuses sometimes,
yeah,
aren't they? You've
100%.
cried before.
Yeah.
Yes, you have. Yeah. Right, someone has asked, can we do another challenge together? Great that someone's brought this up, actually, because I actually suggested a challenge that Jack and I could do together and he's turned me down.
No, so I said, why don't we do the Dragon's Back, which is a 380-kilometre ultramarathon from North Wales to South Wales.
And this is when I told you to get off the magic mushrooms. Yeah. No, I want a challenge that I can actually do. I'm not going to be able to do an ultramarathon. I can't run 10K.
Why don't we sit in silence for 30 minutes? You'd struggle with that.
You've come with an attitude tonight.
Right, what? Yeah.
Can we do another challenge together? So I suggested to Jack that we do high rocks doubles together, because that would be a big challenge for me, because A, I'm unfit, and B...
Fair play to anyone that does a high rocks. Yeah. That's an unbelievable business, by the way.
Yeah, it is. But B, if you do mixed doubles, the girls has to do the boys' weights. So that would require me being fit and strong.
Yeah. I thought you were doing it with Sammy.
Yeah, but I'm doing women's doubles, so we'll do the girly weights. Actually, that's the wrong way of saying it. Oh my God, going to get so much hate. We're doing the lighter weights, but if you do it with a man, it's obviously... you've got to roll with the big dogs.
Got to roll with the big dogs.
Basically. And I thought, how amazing would that be if like we had like video footage of us two and you being like, fucking come on, Tess, because you know how you motivate me.
Yeah.
You fucking
But we
get
could
me
get
fired
that
up.
in North Wales, running up Snowdonia, the wind in our hair, us looking good.
Yeah, but High Rocks, they're professional photographers. Think about that.
We can get bloody Matt to come and take photos of us in North Wales. Literally love.
Yes, Matt.
Matt's like that. Hates camping. Like, fucking shut up, fucking idiot.
Right, okay, next question. Why do men lose interest and the ability to communicate once they've had sex with you?
Probably because you gave it up too easy.
I'm
joking.
say that.
I'm joking.
Why do they lose interest? Why would a man lose interest as soon as he shagged you? Be honest. Is it just because men are actually that fucking gross?
No, but it's a combination of things. Like you've said previous, when we've chatted, you like sex for men and women is so different.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Whereas, so I know you said before that emotional connection is so important for women. Whereas, like even if you go into the science and people on well higher paid grades than me, it's like in the DNA to like. And spread your
manhood.
Yeah, manhood about.
Yes, and I actually will say even deeper than that. I actually sometimes struggle to have fully amazing sexual experiences if I don't have the mental connection. So I know men, it's like up, down, see you later, bye.
Yeah. But there's a Netflix documentary that talks about orgasming for men and women.
Oh, really?
And the reason it's easier for men is because a woman does not need to orgasm to reproduce.
Yeah, no.
But a man does. So that's why literally you can, you look at a man's manhood with enough intensity and it'll just go, oh, it's just gone off.
Yeah, but I would actually say I've had some very average sex in my time where I haven't felt the mental connection, therefore there isn't.
Yeah.
And that's all
and
I'll say.
What did you say to me? You were like, it's quite funny for you, believe it or not. You're like,
for me,
the mental pain it gives me when I know I faked orgasms for
in
lads.
the past. Because I've fed the lie.
Yeah.
So I actually had this epiphany, I think I was about 25, where no wonder men think that they rule the universe. And I'd actually been part of this problem. Girls, stop faking your orgasms. Stop it now. Because I actually thought to myself, as I was laying there staring at the ceiling with nothing happening downstairs. I mean, he was giving it his best, but, whatever. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. And he was like...
The fastest arse in the Northwest.
Ew. And I remember thinking, God, this is getting a bit... eye roll now. And
he's whispering all the things he's heard on porn, like, you love that, don't you dirty bitch?
Yeah.
And you're just like, no, I don't.
And
but playing up to it. Oh yeah.
And this wasn't the first time that we'd done it. And I was like, are you gonna soon? And he went, I'm not until you do. And I thought, listen, love, we'll be here all fucking night. We'll be here for the next 2 hours and I'll have no fanny left if I'm waiting for me. And then I remember actually thinking at the time, and I just went, I'm not gonna. And he was like, you have every other time. And I thought, because I've been lying to you.
Because I've been living a lie.
Yeah, but a lot of women don't orgasm from penetration alone.
Yeah.
They don't. And I think that, as I say, I used to feed into the lie where they'd be like, yeah, you like that? And I'd be like, oh, boy, do I? And then they'd be like, yeah, you're going to. And I'd be like, oh, here I go.
Yeah.
And actually now I reflect on it and I think the fact that some absolute 3 out of 10 is somewhere thinking that they're a fucking don because of me makes me feel angry.
Yeah, I think porn's got a lot to answer for. I mean,
that again is a male-women juxtaposition because, don't get me wrong, I have watched porn, I'm an adult, for God's sake, but like, I don't ever like...
Natasha, obviously she's just joking if you're watching, all right? Your daughter is a saint.
I remember when my mum once walked in on me. I thought
you were going to say, me and my mum watched it together once.
No, ew, you freak. No, my mum once was like looking at my search history on the home computer and I'd searched girls kissing and penises.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she went, what's this? I think she wanted to thoroughly embarrass me, clearly.
So when I was younger, my mum came to me once and she said, Jack, this is when you had like one family computer.
Yeah, same.
You didn't have laptops, not everyone had smartphones. And mum goes, Jack, have you been watching anything on the internet? And I was like, oh, crumbs, I've been caught here, But I was like, I always delete the search because my mum's a blessed, like, that generation, she can't work a computer. She was like, have you been watching gay porn? Like that. And I was like, oh, thank God. No, that wasn't me. And it was like this mystery in our family because this was in the pub. Mum and dad, grandma and granddad used to own a pub. And that's what I mean. We didn't have a computer at our house. It was at the pub.
A communal computer,
yeah. So people used to stay there, family, friends, and it was in the spare room. So it's like this myth now. We don't know who was watching gay porn.
Wherever they are, I hope they're out the closet and I hope they're happy. What I will say is just in regards to Jack's mum. So even though I feel like we're painting Jack's mum to be like this very soft pansy ringing me about the parachute accident and asking you about that. She's a classic lad's mum, isn't she? Your mum,
awesome.
And she's obviously had you as a child.
Yeah, of course.
She is so funny.
Was a landlady at a pub for 21 years. So
she knows her shit.
Yeah,
she knows her shit. She's funny as. But yeah, you are right. I fed the lie. I'll hold my hands up, but I don't do it anymore.
So yeah, to answer your girl's question,
why do they stop communicating and lose interest after sex?
Because it's different for men than it is for women. So if you've got that emotional connection, and just make sure you're not giving it up. Do it if you want to, but don't be pressured into it. Yeah,
or do it if you want to, but then maybe accept that like you both are there for different reasons. He might be there for fun and you might be there for commitment, and that needs to be.
Yeah. It
goes back to that old buzz phrase, communication, which you get a rash when I mention. Right. Okay. Next question. What do you both need from each other through a breakup, and how are they different? So, as in, I think that means us. Like, what do you need in a breakup, and what do I need in a breakup?
To be left the fuck alone. Don't message me. Don't call me. I want to be stoic in the mountains alone.
With 30 bitches around me.
No, we're definitely... You're funny. So you get really emotional. So, like, take your last breakup. Really emotional.
I'm just sticking down my little bit.
The world's going to end. Life's not worth living.
Yeah.
Just got that song. I can't live.
If
living is without you.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, right. And we go through this every time. I'm just so upset. I don't really know what to say because you're so emotional. Normally, 2 weeks later.
Am I okay?
Yeah.
I'm back.
Right as rain.
I'm back, bitches. Can't bring me down. I'm on a high right now.
And then what do I need from you? Probably just someone to moan about, someone to moan to about, and just go, you know what? I did put up with their shit too much. And do you know what? She did break into my fucking flat and cut all the sleeves off my jumpers. I shouldn't have let that go. That should have been a red flag.
Oh, that old chick just again.
That didn't happen to me, but that actually happened to one of my mates.
Cut all the sleeves off.
Yeah.
So
break it.
I mean, it's genius, but
yeah. So basically, he'd gone out, and then she still had a key for his flat. So we went round. And she cut all the sleeves off his jumpers. However, let's not... I don't know what he could have done.
Yeah, probably...
Things don't happen in a vacuum.
No, but also, like, I've seen a TikTok trend about, like, girls getting revenge in, like, it's not illegal, but it's, like, the most inconvenient way. I've seen people, like, go around or, like, post their boyfriend's clothes back, and folding in each of the crease of the clothes is, like, a pound of glitter, so that when they open it, it's, like, all over the room.
But here's one. So, again, people that get paid way more. Are we on the Dr. Huberman podcast?
Why?
Well, because I'm talking about all these research. So they've actually found, so the reason women do that is because obviously physically they can't, they're not as strong as men. So they have to be more strategic in the way they exact revenge.
And that's why women should be at the top positions of the army.
Yeah, of course. And that's why they cut the sleeves off of jumpers.
Yeah, because it fucking gets you in there.
Yeah,
it's not that, but it's that.
I had another friend. We shouldn't laugh. Got caught out. He was asleep on the sofa and she went through his phone and she was like, woke him up. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And instantly he said, my heart sank. He was like, I knew the game was up. It was time just to come clean. He went, yeah, I have. And she just turned around, grabbed his MacBook, bang!
Fuck me.
Over her knee.
Yeah, well, there's a saying, isn't there? Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. But sorry, what I was going to say about how we're different in a breakup, even though I am obviously a classic female and very emotional, is something that might surprise people is you do go through it as well.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, when I broke up with my last girlfriend, really tough, but...
Like, there'd be times we'd even go somewhere together, like when we went to Newcastle and we had that long drive and you were like, I do miss her and I do think about her, and we would talk about it. I think a lot of people think men shut their emotions off very easily. Yeah,
so I was, just come back from my B firm. Obviously we went around our house and we just broke up because I just didn't see it going anywhere. She didn't do anything wrong. She was awesome. And that was, I was crying, like she was upset, and you love her so much, but it's just not right, and I was like, yeah, and it was so tough, really tough, and it was not easy to do, and just because someone doesn't message you or doesn't call you, doesn't reach out, doesn't mean they didn't love you or anything like that.
No.
That took like a lot of strength, because obviously I wanted to check in on her and say, how are you doing?
But it's counterproductive.
But that's, you're not together. You need that break.
Yeah, you do.
Like when people kid themselves and like, oh, but we'll stay friends. Like we still chat and go out for coffee. You need to cut the cord, especially if you weren't friends before. You don't mix in the same friend group.
No, I think you can be friendly, but I agree that there has to be a line.
Yeah.
See, you and I may be different on that, but then if I've not left things on a bad note with somebody, I don't see anything wrong with, like, say I went to a festival or something and I saw them, I would be like, hi, how are you? Good to see you. Like, I am that type of person.
Yeah. If I saw her again, I'll probably just be like, hi.
But yeah, that is actually a good point. So even though
one of my exes probably turn into bloody Kipchoge, world record marathon time, and run straight in the opposite direction.
No, you wouldn't. No.
Yeah, from
her. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. First girlfriend. But we've all got them.
She who shan't be named. Yeah, she was your Fruit Loop, wasn't she? But yeah, so you are in touch with your emotions. I think you just handle it slightly differently. Yeah, and that's all right. And but that's why you have me.
Don't ever expect anything of someone when you've broken up with them.
No.
I know what sometimes you've been treated by. I couldn't believe it. How ruthless some people can be. But just try to see it as a blessing that you just cut the cord. They don't.
Well, actually, when people have been ruthless with me, it's kind of helped me in the end, because it helps me be like, actually, why the fuck would I want to be with somebody like that that's horrible to me?
Yeah.
And I know people fucking move mad in breakups because everyone handles things completely differently. But the people that I look back on fondly and with respect are the people that, like, yes, cut the contact, but we moved on respectfully in silence. Like, it wasn't.
Also, top tip, right? If you break up with someone, you want them back, don't call them 99 times and then think, if I give them one more call or one more message, they'll get back with you. Because no one looks at their phone after receiving 99 missed calls and goes, I'm going to answer the 100th one.
Yeah. Again, referencing your first girlfriend.
Let it go.
Yeah. Right, okay. And then this one is actually from a friend of yours' girlfriend.
Oh, what part of bloody... Just shut the fuck up and read the questions. Has anyone noticed that? She just, as soon as the cameras are rolling, she's 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, sabotage.
Shut up.
Oh, come on. Jackie.
Come on. Well, not that we're in a rush,
Your opinion.
Go on.
What are your opinions on what red flags are for a man? Oh, I think that's asking you.
Red flags in a woman?
Yeah, as in what would be like you thinking red flag, or what's your icks? I want to know that one as well.
Icks.
What would be something that made you like...
Icks and red flags are different, aren't they? Because, so bad hygiene, that would be an ick, wouldn't it?
Bad hygiene is my top one.
Yeah.
And I'm talking dirty fingernails.
Yes.
I'm talking bad breath.
Yes.
Body odour, dirty clothes.
Yeah.
Even as far as like...
dirty house.
Yeah,
oh, here we go. People being rude to waiters, and rude in restaurants. Is that an ick or a red flag?
Red flag.
Red flag.
I would say that shows like narcissistic traits. Yeah. It's an ick as well, but an ick to me is something that makes you like, ugh. Whereas a red flag to me is like, I don't like that behaviour.
Yeah. So yes, okay, yeah. So if an ick, if someone's
if someone's got the little white stuff at the corners of the mouth, that makes
when
me
anyone mentions that, I guarantee you straight go. Do you know I had a Scouser when I was in a festival. Malta goes, all right, lad, you got some disco foam around your mouth.
Ew.
I was like, oh god. I've literally wanted the earth to come and swallow me up.
Ew.
Like I did when I tried to do that Scouse accent. Sorry to any of our Scouse listeners. Right, sorry. So ick, yeah. So if you saw someone with dirty fingernails, that'd be an ick. But someone could be rude to, like, if you went out for a meal. I don't know who's that? Sydney Sweeney? She was rude to the waiters. I'd probably, it'd be a red flag, but I'd be ignoring.
What's that saying?
I'd be ignoring that one.
You wouldn't kick her out of bed for farting.
Wouldn't kick her out of bed for shitting.
Ew.
So red flags.
A red flag for me would be somebody that was non-committal.
Red flag. Christian Dior, but doesn't own a front door. How can you be spending £8,000 on a handbag and you live in your mum's box room?
Yeah, but that's how they afford the handbag.
Yeah, so that's a red flag. Selfish. Red flag for me. Because
I think non-committal is a red flag of mine. Like, if I was dating somebody, I'm not saying that every date has to lead to fucking marriage, kids, and a honeymoon.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that, like, if I was dating somebody and I was like, so, like, what's your dating aspirations? And they were like, nah, just nothing. I'd think, why are you dating then?
yeah.
Like, that for me, I think would, for me, be
But then at least they're genuine in the start.
Yes, at least they've been honest, but that would be enough for me to cut ties. Because I think I do date to be with somebody, yeah. If not, I'm just like having fun.
Question, do you have different red flags from when you were dating men? So would you have a red flag in a man that wouldn't be a red flag in a or not really?
So to answer your question, like I have dated men who like have kind of been a bit like chavvy, scally, and like, you know, been into like the selling drug thing.
That's a red flag, isn't it? It's a bold move, Chip. Let's see how that one works out. Like that's never, you know, if you're a female.
Yeah, see, I don't think that one would ever come up with a woman, because that, I mean, this sounds so gender.
Who'd have thought it? My drug dealer boyfriend, it didn't work out between us. Oh, really?
Yeah, but like that
They're inside
to me
doing a 10 stretch.
Is very rare.
That's me off to Strange Ways to go see them.
That to me is very rare that a woman would have that kind of thing. And another thing that I would see less in women, I would say, is physical aggression. Not even towards me, but I again have dated boys in the past that like are very much fighting on nights out. They're very aggressive, and it's more rare in women. I'm not saying it's completely obsolete, because obviously there are girls that fight and stuff like that, but I think that for me would be like, what kind of person is that? Like, why are you kicking off all the time? Why
Over
are you
something trivial, like
aggressive,
trying to jump over the counter. It's a counter in a kebab house.
Right,
a kabounter.
Yeah, a kabounter.
Yeah, trying to jump over the counter at a kebab house.
Yeah.
Because the geezer put sweet chili sauce on instead of garlic mayo. Like,
yeah, and I actually think to myself, you have deep-rooted issues. If that fucks you off that much, I'd just be like, oh, annoying. But I'd probably just laugh.
Need to check your hard drive, mate.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So your red flags, non-committal.
Bad hygiene. Yeah.
Then mine are selfish and Christian Dior, got no front door.
I've actually got another one. Someone that's really bad with money would be a red flag for me.
Yeah.
Like, I actually remember, I will not name them because they are actually married now, but some of our friends, when they first got together, I remember like it was honeymoon and rainbows, and then she kind of came to us and was like, oh, I found out he's got like 20 grand's worth of debt. And I was like, what for? And she was like, literally, I've asked him, and it's been like holidays with the lads, you know, football tickets away, this, that, and the other. Like, he's got nothing to show for it. It's not like 20 grand in debt and he's furnished a 5-bedroom home. Yeah. And I was like, and how's that made you feel about him? And she really was like, oh, I don't know, because, you know, I'm looking at maybe pooling my income with this person and they can't. Now, obviously, it's ended up being a happy ending and it's all worked out in the end. But I think that for me, if I said to somebody like, do you have debt? Which is something I ask sometimes when I date. I'm like, do you have any debt? Because
that's quite a personal question on the first.
Not the first date, obviously.
Like, where's this done? Where's the diamond?
And tell me where the fucking money is. Yeah. But it's that to me is actually quite important. If someone was terrible with money and they were like, oh yeah, so my credit's really, really bad because I've got 3 credit cards that I owe thousands on. I think actually that would be a red flag for me, because I'd be like, why have you done that? Yeah,
and they haven't, like, it's just been frivolously wasted.
Yeah.
Let's do green flags.
Green flags. Yeah. Good relationship with their family.
Yeah.
I know, and do you know what, actually, that's a bit unfair, because I know for some people...
Here's a question, right? Green flags, I think, can change. Because when you're younger, you might say, yeah, she was a stripper. That was a green flag.
I personally would never say these things, but yeah, okay.
And then as you get older, you're like, right, good job, good family, like you said.
Yeah. Well, what I was going to say is it's actually kind of a bit unfair to say like good relationship with the family, because some people do have horrible circumstances with the family and it's not their fault. But like stuff like that where I think like, do they have a job? Are they kind of like living like a normal civilian? Do they have no criminal record? Are they... But again, you shouldn't judge people for that, even because we have friends...
We all make mistakes, yeah. We all make mistakes.
We have 100%. Friends that have done time. They're not bad guys.
Yeah. Wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah.
What would be one of my green flags? it's hard now because you just want to say the opposite of your red flag. So I want to go good hygiene, unselfless.
Yeah.
No, selfless.
Selfless.
Yeah. Someone that likes country music.
Oh, that's a green flag of yours. Is that
I'm
that
into
big
it
of a
because I
deal?
used to be one of those like too cool for school guys. It was like Chris Stapleton. Wouldn't ever listen to them. And now I'm in the car. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. What about someone, and this is actually one that you've come up against before, somebody that shares the same, I suppose,
Aspiration. Yeah, yeah.
moral
That's
values,
a
I
good
was
one.
going to
Yeah,
say.
that's a massive green flag when you speak to someone and they just your ideas excite them as much as.
Yeah,
as
but
you,
I was
so-
going to say more like moral values, as in like, I know that there's certain things maybe politically or things like that you're kind of like, I get it, but it's not really for me. And then if somebody was to be like, that's offensive that you think that, and et cetera, would that...
So no, what you're... So me and my current girlfriend have some like different views about stuff like that, but we still get along, and they're quite punchy issues.
Yeah.
That in society everyone seems so loggerheads, but I just I'm quite chilled out. I'm like, look, this is how I think.
Yeah.
As long as you don't try and shove it down my throat, and I won't do the same.
I kind of actually agree with that.
They're not ridiculous, but yeah. So green flags, I think when people are quite understanding, but I think that big one is when you just align. You know, like if you say to your missus, "Oh, let's go on a 2-week trekking holiday in the Mongolian foothills," and they go, "Yeah, that's sick." Like that's a green flag that you have similarities.
Yeah, or that they want to do things.
Because otherwise, you're going to have to do 2 weeks on your own in the Mongolian
Or
foothills.
this is what I was going to say, or that they want to do things that bring you joy because they don't necessarily mind about just coming along for the ride.
Yeah.
That's a nice one. Yeah.
Definitely.
But yes, in conclusion, I think we've answered some good questions there.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's given people an insight onto the views of men and the views of women. We don't always see eye to eye and stuff like that, but it can coexist.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
Like the dragon's back.
Yeah.
I say
The ultramarathon that I won't be running.
Yeah, the 380-kilometre ultramarathon when I've not even ran.
And the High Rocks competition that we are doing. Come on. Bring it in. Oh.
There we go.
Oh,
but yeah,
that's an agreement.
Thank you for
having
listening.
you back.
Yeah, thank you for having me back.
Thank you for talking about the accident and winning the lottery. And Jack has actually said that for everyone that listens to this, he's going to give you £1. So, so if everyone tunes in,
You're all getting a quid.
everyone's getting a quid. Yes. But yeah, and we will leave it there and see you next time.
Wicked. Thank you, guys.